Yep, you get no intro video today, folks. Sorry, there's no.
It's still playing.
Video. What do you mean it's still playing? No, it's not. It's not playing.
It's still.
Can you guys
hear it somewhere?
It's still.
You're probably hearing it over on YouTube or on Rumble or something because there's a delay. But it's not playing.
Volume down.
You got to mute your other screen. There's no intro video today, folks, because we were supposed to be on Christmas and New Year's break, but all hell broke loose over the last couple of days. So I drug Nom and SK kicking and screaming into another podcast tonight. Nom, about an hour and a half ago, was like, do we have to do this? And I was like, I don't care if you guys do it. I'm doing it. But because these guys are incredible partners, they're here.
That's not exactly what you said, because I was in the process of typing, let's not. And then you were like, okay, you don't have to, but SK and I will. And I was like, well, delete.
So for what that means for you guys is that you are going to get a super spicy and maybe just a little bit sauced SK, because she's been pre-gaming for a while. Nom has started his pregame because, for those of you guys that don't know, we have an Ohio State football game tomorrow night. And I mean, how early do you start pre-gaming for that?
Well, so actually, we just moved down here into this brand new neighborhood down here on the Gulf Coast, which is still being built. There's literally a house across the street that's being built, which is interesting. When the ice raids go on, the building stops, but that's neither here nor there. And the guy across the street apparently actually has a podcast about Michigan football.
Oh, no.
And yeah, so I went over there after I got done playing golf on Sunday, which it was like 75 and sunny enough. So I went and played around golf. I got home and I walked over there. I was like, you're a Michigan fan. I'm an Ohio State fan, and you guys play right before we do. So I think him and his wife are going to come over for the Michigan game, which is right before the Ohio State game. So we'll start pre-gaming for the Ohio State.
So what he's saying is he starts pre-gaming 5 to 7 days before.
Yeah, that's about right.
I mean, let's be honest here, right? I don't know what happened, but December 19th, I did my last TikTok video, and I was, for some reason, my brain, I was like, I'm not interested in any of this garbage I'm seeing happening right now. Like, I don't give a rat's ass about any of it. I just turned it off. I turned almost all social media off. I ignored all of your text messages, and Mrs. Nom and I had a great time. We had a fantastic time. Our kids are scattered all over the country. They are all going to be here within the next week. We're going to do all of our fun stuff because our kids are, in college and they're doing girlfriend stuff and, all that. And we've had a fantastic time. And yesterday, Game of Thrones marathon started on HBO Hits. So
now
I don't need to do any of this.
Now you know why it is so hard to take a break and then go back. Because when you take a break, you're like, but do I really have to?
No, I love doing this. I just the nonsense that I was seeing with the Epstein latest dump. I'm like, a boat at Lake Michigan, guys. He didn't even have a boat the years you were talking about. I'm like, this is so stupid. I don't want to play any part in this, any role in it. And I just turned it off, and now I'm turning it back on. Here we go.
Well, not by choice, of course, because I dragged you guys back in. And folks, I don't know if you guys care about this, but I thought this was pretty damn funny because this is something that's happened to Nom and I our entire lives. It's the strangest thing. We are 1,500 miles away from each other. And he shows up into the stream, 1,000, whatever. He shows up into the StreamYard and immediately is like, oh my gosh, I'm wearing the same a sweatshirt. Like Nom and I are basically wearing the same outfit today. He's got a hoodie on. I've got a hoodie on. And then I just noticed that we have the exact same stinking hat on.
And he was trying to change his hat. He didn't want to be wearing the same hat. And I'm like, you guys realize you're twins, right? This is going to happen.
All right. But this isn't the reason why people showed up. This isn't the reason why people decided to stop watching whatever Christmas movie they were watching and jumped over to watch the Patriot Source podcast tonight. Because we actually have a pretty important show, I think. I have a question for everybody in the audience. For those of you guys that have been paying attention to the Candyland Cult saga and the simps accounts that are running around protecting and defending, like, I don't know, knights in shining armor trying to defend her honor. I have a question. Has the Candyland cult been infiltrated by Antifa? Anybody? Has it been
there's a tell. There's a tell. You can tell by their little profile pictures. We saw this way back in the early days of Charlie Kirk assassination. The Trans-Tifa, the little cartoon character profile pictures, they're all the same. It's Trans-Tifa all over her little Candyland friend group. It's all over the place.
I'm convinced that what we're experiencing online right now, the massive amounts of these lunatic accounts, maybe not all of them, because I'm sure there's some honest people out there who are asking honest questions and want honest answers because they're not confident in what they're hearing from the feds. I'm one of them. I am one of those people, and everybody on this panel are those people who do not believe that Tyler Robinson acted alone. We don't believe it. Why? Because we have done hours and hours and hours and hours of research on this topic. We have done, I don't know, probably a dozen podcasts on this topic alone and have mapped out the networks extensively. Literally from the day that he was assassinated until today, this has made up the bulk of the content that we have done on this podcast. We've mapped it out for you. We've shown you the connections to Antifa adjacent organizations, these furry, weird culture people. And we're going to talk about some of that here. But the strangest thing continues to happen. As soon as one of us who've done our homework decide to even question the Candyland cult narrative, we get obliterated by this campaign of people or bot accounts.
Obliterated. I don't know about obliterated, but
almost completely lost it today. I kept texting PatriotDad and Nom, telling them I'm this close to actually losing my crap on X today because of the people that were going at PatriotDad for his post. And this one dude that claims to be a vet, and his name is Pissed Off Vet, which is clear, and he probably should seek help for that, was accusing PatriotDad of committing fraud because
insurance
of
fraud.
Give, Send, Go after his house burned down. And I took a screenshot of his Give, Send, Go that says that he has insurance that will rebuild. But in the meantime, they're going to have a place to stay. And they need all of these things that you use every day that you don't think about. I mean, he was accusing him of committing fraud for that. And I'm like, I can't do social media today. Like, I have to log off because I'm going to actually say things that I can't take back.
Well, I mean, it's okay to say things on X that you can't take back because
no, not
who cares?
How are you going to go after
Frankly,
one of the kindest, most honest people on the freaking internet?
Because they're
trying to silence
the content.
Because they're trying to silence the content. What is happening on social media right now is there is a concerted effort, whether it's coordinated at the top, I don't know, but we will eventually find out. There is a concerted effort to use the Candyland narrative to do exactly what we have talked about over the last several months, which is to participate and engage in a color revolution against the United States, to try to divide and destroy the only political force that is capable and willing of stopping the globalization of communism right here in the United States, the MAGA base. That's what they're doing. And I believe it is coming directly from Antifa. I believe that there are Antifa-connected, maybe even Antifa-adjacent people, accounts who are pretending not to be. And as a matter of fact, I had somebody reach out to me last night. So my wife and I took our kids on a little mini vacation. We went down to Noah's Ark, the Ark Experience down in Kentucky, did that for about 2 days. The first day we actually went and saw the live action performance of The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, which, by the way, if you have a chance to see the Logos version of The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe live, it was fantastic, incredible. It's mostly kids. It's a ministry that does these incredible plays. It was stunning. But it lasted about 3.5 hours, so we didn't get a chance to actually go see the Ark, so we decided to stick around and went back and did that today. I don't know why I told you that, except that it was a fun trip and we did it. But last night we're in the hotel and it's like 2:00 in the morning and somebody sends me a message on X and says, hey, you need to see this. Okay. So I start driving down into this message and come to find out, I now have reason to believe that one of the larger accounts that are simping for Candace Owens is in fact Antifa-connected. Now, I was planning to use this platform tonight to start naming names. However, after some thought on the ride home, I was praying about it, and I decided, with the help of the Holy Spirit, that maybe I should give this person an opportunity to respond to those allegations before I take the approach that we continue to see from Candace Owens and her cult following, which is just to destroy people without any context, without any receipts, without without any context or without any opportunity to try to defend themselves. So we're not going to name names yet. Instead, what I did is I sent that person a message about 3.5 hours ago and asked, is this true? And I haven't had a response yet. So we're going to wait.
How long are we going to wait?
I don't know.
Oh,
we'll see.
Well, I mean, we have to wait. I mean, at least until
the end of the show.
At least. Well, we know what Candace would do. Candace would say, you have to come back tomorrow. Except we're not going to do this tomorrow because we're going to be watching High Stakes.
Yeah, we're not doing another show until next week.
So you have to come back on Monday because this is how you drive engagement, right?
Well, this has nothing to do with driving engagement. This is the right way to handle.
I'm so kidding.
This is the right way to handle something like this. When you get information that you feel like needs to be verified, you verify it. And you give people an opportunity to respond before you try to destroy them. And what the funny thing was, at the same time that I'm debating over whether or not to share this information publicly, I decided to listen to Candace Owens' space event last night. So she was on Spaces on X, did about an hour and 15, hour and 20 minute spaces, and was floored at what I was hearing. Absolutely floored at the level of cognitive dissonance that is coming all the way from the very top. So what I want to do tonight is I want to address some of what I heard. So I have a couple clips. We're going to run through those. And then we're going to start talking about the massive disconnect between this idea that it's okay for everybody to ask questions and what happens to people who actually ask questions that maybe differ from the questions that they're asking. Because what's fascinating is when they ask questions and then people like myself and other people ask questions about their questions, for some reason, the Antifa-linked mob shows up in our comments.
But wait, you're paid. You're paid by Israel to ask those questions, PatriotDad.
I'm not paid a dime by anybody.
Just admit
not one.
it.
Nice.
Just
if somebody wants to pay us,
admit it.
I will take some sponsorships. By the way, Patriot Crew, I'm still wearing your sweatshirts because I love your gear.
And he's not paid, by the way. I'm totally
not
joking.
Paid
not a single one of us are paid.
Who's the Let's Go? Who makes the Let's Go Brandon sweatshirt? Because I'm wearing that one. I mean,
look, folks, you don't have to be paid to ask questions.
No,
you don't have, especially when the questions that you're asking are based on hours and hours and hours of deep research.
If we're putting in our sponsorship requests, I'm wearing this right here.
You're going to get us copyrighted or something. All right, let's do this. So
we can get ourselves copyrighted all on our own. It's fine.
Oh, I know. By the way, you guys notice that we still don't have any opening music because we haven't figured that out yet either. We'll get back to having a buffer or an opening video and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we're not even paid from these videos because apparently we had copyrighted music.
Like that's how little we're getting paid for this. We do this because we love it, because it's important to us, because it matters to the future of our kids and our kids' kids. And by the way, I don't mean to call anybody out because Cat Sass, we love you. You're one of our favorite people. But I saw a comment that you made earlier, and I want to see if I can find it. Hold on, let me go back. I just want to. Nam even asked me, "Hey,
this isn't a call out. This isn't a call.
No, this isn't a call out at all.
No,
Not at all. No, we love you. You're fantastic. But you said something in the comment section a little bit earlier that I want to address because I think it's important. Because see, one of the reasons why I do this is because I am paying attention and I'm just focused like a laser on trying to leave a better future for my kids and their kids and their kids. And I saw a comment from Cat Sass who said,
you want me to read it?
Yeah, read it because I can't find it. Read it.
Yeah, it says, if this is truly the prophesied end times, it will be difficult on many levels.
Yeah, that's
and we should say what it is that Nom and PatriotDad said and what it is that I said.
2026 must be the year that the devil goes back straight to hell and is gone forever. We have to defeat this evil. And then Cat Sass says, if this is truly the prophecy of end times, it will be difficult on many levels.
But
look,
but what did you say about end times? You said it was how many years away?
A long time.
Yeah, it's the end of the age. 500 plus years, 600 plus years.
And I said, the Bible says no one knows the time, no one knows the day. And if it were tomorrow, I would be perfectly okay with that.
One of the things that I think kind of bothers me the most about this end times narrative that we hear a lot is it is almost always coupled with people who say that the world is getting ready to end. So I just don't care anymore. I don't care what's happening in our politics. I don't care what's happening in our culture because the end is here. That is such faulty thinking. The reality is none of us have any idea when it's going to happen. I suspect it's a very, very long way off. We're not anywhere close to it. My job, our job is to leave a legacy for our kids and our kids' kids. That's why we do this, because it's important to us. Hell, we're not even getting monetization off of these lives because we weren't smart enough to check to make sure we weren't using copyrighted audio. Like we're not getting paid for this.
To be fair, the videography guy who made the video said that it was duty free. It was free use. Turns out it was not.
Yeah. So
you at least did that little bit of due diligence.
But I will say, when I was on TikTok every single day and I was reading transcripts, and there were times I was only getting like 2 hours of sleep at night because I was reading updates from court during the day. And then the transcripts would be released and I would be reading transcripts at night and I would be debating, and I wasn't getting hardly any sleep. I was on TikTok debating every single day and trying to share as much information as I could. And everyone would, say, why are you doing this? What is the purpose of this? Blah, blah, blah. Every single time I said, I cannot look my children and my grandchildren in the eyes and tell them that I did everything that I possibly could. Just me, little old me. I don't think that I'm somebody that makes some big, huge impact and some big, huge difference, but I'm going to do everything it is that I possibly can to ensure that my kids, grandkids, great-grandkids, great-great-grandkids are able to enjoy a country that's free and the country it is that I know and love, period.
That's right. That's right. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through a couple of clips from the Spaces event last night because it's stunning to me the amount of hubris and ego and narcissism that's coming from this group of accounts, people who think that they are the only ones who are capable of doing any investigation into this assassination. And the problem that I have is that those of us who have been doing this investigation also, we're seeing very different things. There's a massive disconnect between what we're seeing and what they're seeing. And the funny thing is, anytime you bring that up, and you try to reorient people's focus back on the networks that we have mapped out extensively, they lose their minds. And I have to ask the question, why? Why? You guys are supposed to be conservatives. You're supposed to be people that care about protecting the republic, the Constitution of the United States. So why is it that anytime someone looks at you and says, hey, we have a major problem with trans-Tifa and violent radicalism among Antifa and the furry culture, Why do you lose your minds? Why do you decide that you have to try to shut down every voice that says, no, we found the connections, we found the networks? Why are you shutting it down? I think I know why.
Well, you have to understand, we've shown the playbook over and over and over again. This is all a part of the playbook. All of it's a part of the playbook. We've shown you the playbooks. You know where to go to look them up. You know where to go to read them. It's all in the playbooks. They write it down. They tell you their plans.
Yeah.
We're going to get we're going to get way out of order. Nom, can you pull something? Go ahead and whatever you're going to say.
Well, I was going to say this is precisely what you're reacting to, because if you guys remember, if I'm not mistaken, the last podcast we did was with Lisa, right? And we had Data Republican join us for a short time. And what did Lisa tell us? Said this very information, this very research that PatriotDad is talking about has been sent to Candace multiple times by multiple people.
Can you pull that up? That is
which one is it?
It
here it
is.
is. I got it right.
Yeah, pull this up because before you do, listen, folks.
Listen to myself talk.
Yeah, this is a reminder, and I want to point this out. What started the shit show over on X was me posting this clip right here and Cult over the last couple of weeks for obvious reasons, because I think they are intentionally trying to destroy the only thing that's going to stop this from happening. Why are they seeming to want to shift people's focus away from understanding and pulling at this?
I think that TPUSA had any knowledge of any of these things, and I do not think that they knew the actual political leanings or values of some of the people that were at this chat.
Climate at UVU, and I will say this over and over again, that school is a United Nations school, and they are full on aligned with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. I mean, they literally brought them here. Remember we talked about this? It's the only place besides New York they've ever been in the United States had a meeting. So I think that was something they were not aware of. Probably they brought Charlie here, and the fact that is so out in the open. And I know that people have shared our work with Candace. I know people who have sent it to her. The fact that she's ignoring this completely when there are some definite questionable things in this arena says a lot.
Says a lot.
It says a lot.
It says pretty much everything we need to know, especially when you look into the ties between the UK, the EU, the UN. There are lots of questionable things going on here, and you also have to look at the ties to the three-letter agency that isn't supposed to be operating here, because Utah Valley University has a lot of ties to that agency, including the Center for National Security Studies.
Are you telling me that the research that you ladies, the amazing research that you ladies have done, was put into her tips box, and it's the only tip she didn't read live on air, like she had vetted it and it was fact? Are you telling me that that's what?
People who have been talking to her directly that gave her this information.
Wow. Holy crap.
I don't know how that didn't make it out of her tips box, because a lot of other garbage did.
Well, I'll tell you how it didn't make it out of her tip box, because she didn't want it to make it out of her tip box. That started a shit show over on X. Like dozens and dozens of dozens.
You guys listen to me at all whatsoever when I hear myself?
Because you sound the exact same like you're talking right now.
No, that is not what I sound like in my head.
Okay. I've told you this over and over again. You have the perfect voice for a microphone. So stop it.
I hate it. I hate it.
All right. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to jump in here. So the whole concept of the spaces from last night was titled, "Why Does Fort Huachuca Even Matter?" For those of you guys who don't remember, about 3 weeks ago, Candace Owens did a show where she basically accused the United States military of being involved in the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And social media has gone bonkers ever since.
Well, not only did she accuse him, but I believe the quote was, "I don't know how this doesn't end up in a complete or 100% confession from the United States government and the military being involved in the assassination of Charlie Kirk."
That's right. That's
right.
So
from memory. I may have a couple of words off here and there, but that's what she said.
That's right. But so here's what I want to do, because when anybody like me or Nom or SK or any of the other podcasters or accounts out there that remind people of what she said, the Antifa driven cult mob that is pushing her narrative loses it. Play video 1. This is a clip from last night's Spaces.
Why does this meeting even matter? Like, what is the actual claim that's being made here? That's been my confusion the whole point, the whole time, is like, okay, let's say that there's absolute proof, photographic evidence that everything that Snow says is true. Like, who cares? I mean, what does that prove? What is the actual accusation? Who do you think was conspiring with who to do what?
Yeah.
And I think obviously the name of the episode was, the day before Charlie Kirk was murdered. The insinuation is that this was a assassination planning meeting, which I don't even see any evidence of that. And then people I'm arguing with online are saying, no, this has nothing to do with the assassination.
Yeah. So it matters because why would Brian Harpole be on Fort Huachuca at all? Right? It matters because he's giving an alibi, which means he doesn't want to be associated. Like, it could have easily not mattered. Kind of, to speak to your credit, he could have.
Hold on. Stop. So listen, folks, I've not heard any of this. Okay. Because like I said, I turned social media.
I told you,
off.
I ripped them out of their vacation.
Hold on. So much there. So she said Brian Harpole is providing an alibi because he doesn't want to be associated with this.
He's providing an alibi because he wasn't freaking there.
That's what an alibi is. It's like you're accusing me of something, and I'm telling you, no, I was not there. Here's where I was, and here's the evidence that I was there. That's not just saying, oh, I don't want to be associated with it. You accused him of being there.
Keep going.
Okay. I'm gonna react to this live because now I'm pissed off. This is bullshit already.
You haven't seen nothing yet.
Okay.
Nothing.
I haven't heard any of this.
No.
I've been like, I was at Fort Huachuca with my brother. And my brother.
What?
Just keep going. Keep going. You need to keep going.
I was in the military. I was dropping off some food. Okay. Like, that could have been then suddenly a dead end. That would have been nothing. Now, because Mitch had described this as a top secret meeting in an off-site building and had described this as top brass at the Pentagon and said that these sorts of meetings, and I am forgetting the military term, are when you're.
None of what she just said is what she actually said. Top brass at the Pentagon.
Yeah, there was 12. I think she described it as 12 to 13 06s, which, by the way, happens all the time.
She said 12 to 14 lieutenant colonel, E5 lieutenant colonels, which you only ever see at the Pentagon. What? So now she's saying this is Pentagon top brass that was at Fort Huachuca.
The story's changing.
It
changes.
The story's changing.
This is my point. The story constantly changes, and when you point that out, you get attacked.
Okay. All right.
By
Sorry.
Antifa.
We may never get through these because, like, every other sentence is.
You're gonna have to just let them play. Let them play, and then we'll react. SK, are you taking notes over there?
I'm looking at some information. No. Well, first I am messaging, but not in the chat. But I'm looking at some information about Candace's husband and father-in-law.
Oh,
okay.
Is it stuff we haven't talked about yet?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yes. All right. If you need
see,
to put it in the outline, feel free.
Because we have a tips box too.
Yes, we do.
And they've been on our show.
Right.
You know who they are. Right.
And at some point in time, they're going to have to learn how to use Discord and quit relying on me, because I was in bed sick for like 4 or 5 days and people were like, how come nobody's been in here talking to us? Because they don't get in Discord.
All right. We'll get in Discord. I promise. All right. Keep going, Nom. Keep going.
Go.
Just about to embark on like a mission. I know I sound really uneducated, but military guys will sound better saying that. It was compelling. I think that's why it matters. And this reaction, rather than.
No, keep going.
Yeah, no, because what she just pulled there was a Hillary Clinton Democrat special.
Yeah.
It's the seriousness of the charge.
Matters.
It's the serious, because the reason why it matters is because it's compelling. It's the seriousness of the charge, which is how many years have we heard that? Anytime a Democrat makes an allegation against anybody, listen, doesn't matter if it's true. The seriousness of the charge is what we should care about.
That's
exactly what she just said.
It's such an important catch, and she does it all throughout this entire.
Can I rewind? Can I rewind?
Rewind it.
Let me see if I can go back 15 seconds here. Oh,
by the way, folks, this is a Democrat tactic.
All right. Here we go.
This as a top secret meeting in an off-site building, and had described this as top brass at the Pentagon, and said that these sorts of meetings, and I am forgetting the military term, are when you're just about to embark on like a mission. I know I really uneducated, but military guys will sound better saying that. It was compelling. I think that's why it matters. And this reaction, rather than being forthcoming, is why it suddenly feels like, okay, this is important, because no one's acting normal. No one's just like, oh yeah, cool, he was there. But it just happened to be that JTF was borrowing that offsite building, and it was supposed to be a top secret meeting for those purposes. Somebody that was involved in blacking out the windows had sent us a tip. Again, it's how people are reacting to the meeting.
It's the reaction that makes this serious. It's the reaction that makes this important. It's the seriousness of the charge that somebody alleges they saw the head of TPUSA's security leaving a super secret intelligence level, top level brass meeting at Fort Huachuca at 7:40 something in the morning, which, by the way, leaves about a 4-hour window of time between when he left and when he was actually contacted by military police. I think we need some receipts on what he was doing during that 4-hour period of time, because that's a mighty big window. Nonetheless, the problem, Candace, and I know that there's a whole bunch of the Antifa-linked audience that's listening to this. The problem is not the people's reaction. The problem is that 3 weeks ago, she went in front of her entire audience and explicitly accused the United States military of being involved in the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Explicitly. It's not the reaction that's causing this to be a bigger story.
Do we need video 6? Do we need video?
No,
6?
not yet. Show picture 5. It's the explicit accusation using information that came from this whistleblower, Mitch Snow, who we now know was in fact on the base, was in fact, at least for a short period of time, a Green Beret, but has zero credibility on anything else that he cannot explicitly prove. And why is that? Well, because a whole bunch of investigators have been investigating. And you're going to hear later that Candace does not like people investigating. You're not allowed to investigate Mitch Snow's background to test his credibility, because she just doesn't care about that. And you shouldn't care about somebody's credibility who's asking you to trust them because they don't provide any actual evidence to the people.
The story still doesn't make any sense to me. Of course, the JTF had access. We already talked about what the hell.
Let's do it again, because
JTF Southern Border was doing.
Let's do it again.
At that exact point in time.
Because there's a lot of people that are listening now that were not listening when we talked about this several weeks ago. So,
you want me to read it, or do you want to read it?
No, you go ahead and read it. Go ahead and read it. See, Fort Huachuca is actually a very important military installation. What was going on in Fort Huachuca right around this same time frame? Any ideas? Besides planning the assassination, allegedly, of Charlie Kirk?
I know, because we did an entire whole ass podcast 3.5 weeks ago, and we told you exactly what was going on at Fort Huachuca, Joint Task Force Southern Border. By the way, not JTF 6, JTF Southern Border, which at one point was JTF 6, and now it's Joint Task Force Southern Border, where they were literally planning the operations for the Venezuelan drug boat bombings that you've been seeing going on in the Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of America. That's what they were doing at Fort Huachuca at that exact point in time at JTF Southern Border. So,
SK, do you think that it's reasonable I'm asking you, somebody who doesn't have like direct military background.
I have no military background. I know nothing about the military, zero.
Do you think it would be reasonable to have 12 to 14 lieutenant colonels in a planning meeting right around the same time frame that they are surging and executing phases for multiple missions, making a high-level field-grade officer briefing at JTF Southern Border? Highly plausible. Fort Huachuca, as the hub of JTF SB, was a nerve center for counter-drug and migration ops in mid-2025. September was a pivotal month for ramping up interoperability amid a reported spike in fentanyl and migrant crossings. Do you think it's reasonable to have a bunch of lieutenant colonels on base planning things when they're getting ready to start attacking drug boats coming from Venezuela?
Required.
I would think it would be irresponsible not to. I mean, isn't that how this works?
They're the ones who are doing the planning for this. It's not the E5s, Candace. It's the lieutenant colonels, because they're not the same thing. The lieutenant colonels, the majors, the colonels, they're the ones, and the sergeants major, they're the ones who are doing this planning. They're all going to be in the same room doing this planning at the same fucking time. You retard.
But it's
sorry.
Can I just say again how much I love the fact that that word has made it back into our lexicon, even though my wife won't let me use it?
I'm taking total credit for it.
What?
All right.
I'll tell you a quick story.
All right.
Do we have a
second? Yes. Absolutely.
Quick story. I can't believe I'm telling this out loud. My kid, now he's an adult in his 20s, but when he was in 8th grade, him and his best friend were joking around with each other in English class, and they had a super young, like it was her first year of teaching. She was like early 20s teacher, and she was super liberal. And he called his friend a retard, and she like stopped class, like record scratching, like stopped class and called my kid out for using that word. And she was like giving him this whole lecture about how you can't use that word and why and blah, blah, blah. And she was like, and I'm going to call your parents. And he was like, calm. And okay, only my kid can get away with this because everyone loves him and he's hilarious. And he doesn't mean anything bad. He never gets in trouble because he's just so good. But he was like, yeah, call my parents, but make sure you call my mom because she'll tell you you're retarded.
I learned it from watching you, Mom.
All right, we got to go to video too, because she wasn't done. And folks, the point here is that the point that we have to continue to drive home is that when you, as a YouTuber, by the way, she has the #1 podcast in the world.
Did she tell us this?
Explicitly accuse the United States military of planning the assassination of Charlie Kirk. You damn well better come with receipts, not from some guy who has a 30-year track record of conning and abusing every woman in his life. And that's what we found out about Mitch Snow. Whether or not Mitch Snow was at the fort means nothing. It doesn't mean a damn thing. And I know that's the point that you're all trying to make, is, well, he was there. Okay, great. The problem is that he can't prove that any of the people that he says were there also. So instead, we are left to rely on his credibility. And that's a problem. And anytime somebody asks questions about his credibility, why does the Antifa-linked crowds from Candace Owens, the Cultville, decide that they need to attack people? Why? I thought we were asking questions. I don't know. Play video 2. Play video 2.
Okay.
Play video.
Okay.
So this is
Now,
Candace Owens continuing.
Actually untrue, or if I don't recant something, if I go somewhere and it ends up being a dead end, then I would understand that energy. Like if, Erica did hand me her perfect alibi and I was like, well, I'm not going to say it because I just want to put it out there. But I was actually really hesitant to put Mitch on the show because I wanted, he was like 100% certain it was Erica. He was 100% certain it was Brian Harpole, but I wanted to be very careful about how I went about things. And so I think that we just don't appreciate like people that actually care and are standing up to the feds right now. unnecessarily being sort of tossed to the wolves by like your perspective, which is like, if you don't have a perfect narrative and it's not neat and buttoned down, then don't speak. Like, no, guys, keep speaking, keep asking questions. And if you're on this, like listening right now, you're going to get things wrong, and that's okay. Just you have the courage to say you're wrong. And that's what I do.
Holy shit.
I always do that. I just say, you know what? I thought this, it's actually wrong. Let's pivot.
Holy
I
pause.
have never
pause,
heard her,
pause,
literally never heard her say I was wrong about that.
Pause.
It's paused.
I know it's
paused. I got it paused.
I know you did. Do we need to go through the list of people and groups and organizations that Candace Owens has accused of doing
We
something?
should, because
Should we go
it's
through that
wrong,
list?
and I'm pretty sure it's every single one except the one she's supposed to be blaming, because she gets ever so close to the truth, and then she does a like immediate 90-degree turn to it's the Jews.
Can I read it this time?
Yes, you can read it. So this is the
Okay.
list of all the people, groups, organizations that Candace Owens at one point has accused of either being involved or covering up the assassination of Charlie Kirk. By the way, I have yet to see her acknowledge that she was wrong about any of them. If I'm wrong about that, let me know and I will correct the record. But if anybody can point out where she's acknowledged that she was wrong about these folks, let me know. This is the list. Go ahead.
The French government, the Israeli government, the Egyptian government, the United States government, the FBI, Turning Point USA as an inside job, Mossad, French Foreign Legion, Gandameer Intervention Group, Anti-Defamation League, because they're covering it up, Freemasons, BBNet, which is an Irish internet service provider, and Yahoo, Charlie's security team, Erica Kirk, Emmanuel Macron, Brigitte Macron, who Candace believes is actually Macron's trans father.
But also they put
You
out
might
a
be
hit
right
on
about
her
that.
too, remember? They put out a hit
Yes.
on her too. They want her too.
Yeah.
Bibi Netanyahu, Bill Ackman, Josh Hammer, Kash Patel, Blake Knapp, Alex Clark, Tyler Boyer, Brian Harple, Dan Flood, Pastor Rob McCoy, because he's helping to cover it up, Pierre DuPont and the DuPont family and the Freemason ties, Stacey Sheridan for God knows what, Donald Trump, because, you know, it's always Trump's fault. He's the bad guy. Orange Man bad. Jewish donors accused of funded the hit, Zionists and Jewish hitmen, Bolsheviks and other anti-Christian forces, maroon-shirted individuals as suspected operatives or military signals at the event linked to the elite airborne units, beekeepers, from a really weird dream that she
I
had.
think she owes every beekeeper an apology right now. Continue.
Mormons.
Mormons.
Yeah, you can probably blame some Mormons. And Marcus Hale, who is not even a real person, but a fictional volunteer generated through AI.
You have to be
She
specific.
has not blamed, however, the Patriot Source podcast yet.
But you have
I
to
do
be
have an alibi.
specific. If you're going to talk about Mormons, you have to talk about the Mormon Women for Ethical Government.
Because they might have been involved, actually.
Because there's like, you know, a tiny possibility. I mean, they're definitely part of the radicalization pipeline.
Yeah, that's for sure. And by the way, Candace, if you would have, you know, done something with the information that these ladies have handed to you, you would probably know who they are. But, you know.
All right. Are we ready for video 3? Where are we?
No, we're not ready for video 3. You need to continue playing video 2.
Somebody in the comments said, wait, beekeepers?
Beekeepers. Beekeepers. She had a dream about beekeepers and they were involved.
Yeah, she did.
It's the
All
dreams,
right, all right.
you guys.
We're still on video 2.
Dreams.
Video 2. This is where it gets good.
Okay, I mean, I don't know where you're getting this idea that I'm saying don't do research or anything like that. I am confused why it's been a week of talking about this meeting and I still am not even.
You guys are the ones talking about it.
Because it's been
I've been off air for 8 days. Like,
it's been
what kind of
3
energy is
months.
this?
I know,
Like,
but it's been
off air
I know.
for 8 days. You guys
I
have
know.
been on InfoWars.
No.
Stop.
No, keep playing it. Keep playing it.
Calling me a fraud, this, that, saying my husband's an MI6. Like, what do you mean? Why is this a
That was me.
conversation? Because you won't let it go. I had him on the show. That was it. You know, we were investigating things behind the scenes, like, you know, reaching out, like he had already reached out to people for alibis before I even had him on. You know, like, hey, this guy said this, whatever. And then all of a sudden you guys every day are obsessing over it and making up lies. Like, you guys are the reason it's big. Like, respectfully, like, This is the work of you and Alex Jones and Paramount Tactical and.
All right, listen, PatriotDad, you and I, we both had a friend in our immediately after high school years for 4, 5, 10 years who, and we all know someone like this who, no matter what, they will always find a way to wiggle their way out of anything that they've said in the past, and they will always have the last word in every single allegation that's made against them. You know exactly who I'm talking about, don't you?
I do. I know exactly who you're talking about.
And when I listen to her, I hear him.
It's narcissism. It's gaslighting and narcissism.
Can I ask one small question?
Sure.
Do we know about her husband's dad, her father-in-law, and his ties with Israel and anti-Semitism and being like all about Israel? Can you imagine what Christmas dinner was like sitting around that table with Candace Owens?
If there was one. If there was one.
You guys.
Did you guys catch that? The back half of that clip was Candace Owens throwing her hands up and saying, I don't know why you guys are making such a big deal out of this. It's not a big deal. I just interviewed the guy. I verified some of the information he gave me. He was there. Maybe because you accused Charlie Kirk's wife and the head of TPUSA security of being on base while the assassination planning meeting was going on. Do you think maybe that's why people are making a big deal out of this?
Well, and the entire United States government and the military.
Candace.
And Erica Kirk. And think about all the individual people at TPUSA who she has named, whose lives she's tried to ruin with zero evidence. Zero. How is this not resulting in lawsuits? This is something I'm worried about as somebody on the internet, and I'm nobody. There's no way I would accuse someone of doing something. I would just be like, okay, I mean, this person's a little suspect, and here's why I think so. I would not accuse someone of actually committing a crime.
Oh, but Candace will tell you, and her audience is now trying to tell people, the Antifa cult linked to Candace Owens is now trying to convince people that she didn't say that. She never said that. She never accused the U.S. military of planning the assassination of Charlie Kirk. There's just one problem with that. She did. No. Play the video. Video 6.
Oh, okay.
Video 6.
Yeah,
do you guys remember that? Because I do.
I do.
I remember
only like 3.5 weeks ago.
As a matter of fact, when I
Happy
heard
Tuesday. Where to begin? Well, in the final days leading up to Charlie Kirk's assassination, Charlie was pretty busy, right? He went on a first-time trip to Asia, quite a quick trip, at least a quick turnaround to go first to Korea for a couple of days and then off to Japan. And honestly, if I was a conspiracy theorist, and I kind of am one, I might think at this stage that the timing of that trip might have been intentional because something was going on back home that they didn't want him to see. Well, what I'm about to tell you guys today is going to positively blow your mind. I just cannot see how this would lead to anything other than a full confession from the government about the military's involvement in his to anything other than a full confession from the government.
Yeah, and I'm going to do it one more time.
The military's involvement in his assassination, but to anything other than a full confession from the government about the military's involvement in his assassination, but I'm just going to deliver the facts and see where they land. Welcome back to Candace.
Pause. I don't know if you guys know how to put comments up on the screen. Do you know how to do that yet?
Yes, I think I can do it from, yes, who? Which one?
Okay, Walter 8888-8 said, I saw someone use the term CanTifa tonight where, and then they said, why are my comments deleted? Your comments aren't deleted. But what did I send you guys today?
CanTifa, you said that.
I saw somebody use the word
Yeah, I don't know if I can put them over there from YouTube.
And
though.
I'm not ever going to not use that term because that's exactly what this is.
Yeah, Walter, I would love to show that up or throw that up here on the screen, but for some reason, see the way we have,
Don't worry about
it on. I can't get it on.
It's a sausage. We can't throw it up here, but we hear you. In fact, SK actually said the same thing earlier today. That is her new name. She is now CanTifa. Why is she CanTifa, PatriotDad?
Because it is becoming more and more clear every time somebody challenges one of her ridiculous ideas and the narrative that she's spinning, that the people that are attacking you for doing it are associated with Antifa.
Because
That's
can
why.
I tell you why? Can I just tell everyone why? Can I just like ruin it for everyone
Sure.
and tell everyone why?
Yep.
Because we've told you repeatedly to that asshole, what was your name? Pissed off vet, if you're listening, which I know you're not because you were blocked by PatriotDad and you're a piece of actual shit. And I don't even care if you're a veteran, whom I respect every single veteran with every fiber of my being, but you are an actual piece of shit. Just so you're aware, if you paid attention and you said, well, where are your receipts? You're making all these claims. Where are your receipts? All you have to do is click on the names that are fucking tagged in the post, you idiot moron. And even our pinned posts have fucking receipts, you jackass. Every single thing I say has a receipt to back it up. I've been on the internet for 2 years now. And if anyone can come to me and find something that I said without having a fucking receipt to back it up, I will give you $100 fucking on Cash App. If I didn't say this is my opinion first, or I feel, or I think first, if I said it as a fact, there's a fucking receipt to back it up, you piece of shit.
My daughter.
Oh, she's
for
not
the
done yet.
record,
Oh, shit.
PatriotDad is the last person on the internet you want to go after, accusing them of committing fraud. The nicest, kindest, most honest person on the fucking internet, you actual piece of shit. Also,
okay.
there's
more.
While we're on the topic, I told you guys repeatedly on this podcast, on X, on TikTok, fucking everywhere, there's receipts for the fact that immediately after Charlie Kirk's death, when the left decided to act like actual zoo animals and go ahead and celebrate the death of someone, which is actual trash behavior. I don't care who the person is. Celebrating the death of a human life is actual trash behavior. I said they put out their playbook. I found a blog on September 16th. September 16th.
Pull it up.
That said,
we have it?
Yep.
Their plan, Antifa's plan, is literally to use Israel to divide the right. We warned you guys. We warned every single one of you. And every single one of you stupid motherfuckers fell for this shit. You fell for it. Every single one of you. And you're listening to these people like Candace Owens that are being drug along to use Israel to divide the right. You guys are actual fucking morons.
Let's read this. This came from a blog post right after the memorial service for Charlie Kirk. And this is Antifa talking amongst themselves. It says, anti-fascists must work to find more creative ways to counter this political moment. One option may be working to drive wedges between different segments of the right. We have already seen physical conflict between neo-Nazis and conservatives at these events when a group of bruisers associated with SoCal Active Club jumped a rockabilly guy at an event in Huntington Beach. One possibly useful wedge issue is the context, or in this context, is Israel. Conspiracy theorists have already jumped to blame Kirk's assassination on Mossad, claiming the lifelong Zionist was on the verge of becoming J-pilled. Folks, they told us.
That's what you're watching. That's what we're watching.
They told you.
Guys, the comments.
Well, but that's not even the only one.
By the way,
that's not even the only one of those posts that we saw. We saw it on Reddit. We showed them to you.
Can I just say real quick, my daughter, who's 11, is amazing, and she has a new statement that she says all the time. Yes, Queen. And she would be saying, yes, Queen, right now to SK for what she just said.
The zoo animals
no,
was fantastic, by the
no.
way.
Listen, I've warned
That
you
was
guys
fantastic.
multiple times. This
You
is
did.
why
You
I
did.
cannot have any type of adult beverage. I don't drink very often for this reason right here, because I have zero filter on a regular basis, but I have like less than zero filter if there's any alcohol involved, and I've been holding that in for a long time.
We didn't lose any live people on Rumble.
That guy going after
do it.
PatriotDad, accusing him of committing fraud, pissed me the fuck off today. And I kept telling you guys I'm this close to like actually losing my shit, and I'm sorry that I actually did. But of all the people on the internet to go after PatriotDad, are you fucking okay? Are you smelling burnt toast currently? Are you having a stroke? Do we need to call 911?
Yes.
Because of all the people on the internet, PatriotDad is not the guy to go after.
Well, if it makes you guys feel any better, when he was doing that, I was walking through Noah's Ark experience, looking at the I was looking at all the stuff. So whatever. I didn't
Teaching
care.
his children about Christ.
That's right.
While this guy's accusing him of committing insurance fucking fraud.
Yep.
You actual piece of shit.
All right, let's go. So here, let's go down to, oh, by the way, those people that are accusing her husband of being part of MI6, Candace, until you provide the receipts that he's not, I don't have any reason to not expect him.
Hold on. We're just asking questions.
I need receipts.
Question.
We need receipts to prove that he is not working as your handler with MI6. We're going to need the proof, because there's a whole lot of evidence that suggests that question is worth asking. And apparently SK's got even more that we don't know about yet.
But it's not even a leap to imagine that the UK government would work against MAGA movement in the Trump administration. No. The entire Russia collusion narrative was born
from UK.
It was born. Well, not born entirely, but they played a massive role.
That's right.
In all of that.
That's right. That's
Please.
Right. All right.
Please.
So video 3, we're gonna jump to video 3. And Nom, I know you said that you wanted to try to keep this at 60 minutes. We're gonna go over a little bit.
I mean, we're at it now.
Yeah.
So let's go.
All right.
I ruined it. I'm sorry, but
the
comments are
we're in it now.
epic.
We'll be here however long it takes.
This is awesome.
I wanted to do an hour, but we're in it.
Comments are epic.
All right. So video 3.
And that's gonna be my legacy on YouTube.
How long is this? Because I may go to the refrigerator while this is playing. You're in charge.
No, it's not that long. They get a lot shorter from here. They're maybe a minute.
And
all right. So video.
Here we go.
Sort of missed maybe some of this, but I did just sort of run people through what happened and kind of said, like, I kind of view what you and Evan did to be different. And, you know, I think for everybody, it was just sort of the timing of you guys, like, and the style of needing to announce it, I think was a bit different. And I think that's why you kind of got the reaction that you did. I just wanted to give you the opportunity to have the floor and say what you wanted to. Morgan?
Oh, hi. I didn't know that you were talking to me. I'm sorry. How are you?
Yeah,
How is everybody?
good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks for giving me the floor, because there's been so much freaking drama in the last couple of days, and everybody, I feel like, has been trying to pit us against one another for some reason. And I keep reiterating, I have no issues with Candace. I'm still 100% on board with the investigation. I have my reservations about Mitch, and I feel like I should be able to voice those concerns. And I know that a lot of people don't care about his past or his history, or I don't even want to say only his history, because currently it's my understanding that he does have open cases. But when we're looking at, you know, somebody's credibility, how can we find them credible if the only thing that we have to take is their word for something? And right now it's he said, she said. He said that he saw people there, and we can only take his word for it. And when you have every single person in his life, not only the exes, but his children, who he's never had custody of any of them, they all say the same thing, that he's a pathological liar. I have trouble trusting an individual like that. And I just want to make sure that we stay on track in finding out what happened to Charlie Kirk.
Yeah. And so I think what I would offer back is that's what we have been doing. So rather than speaking to his son, I contacted people on the base, you know, like, okay, he said that somebody named Neff which is what he said initially in contacting me. Captain Neff was the one who questioned him. So rather than speaking to his son from 22 years ago, I think the people would say, why don't you speak to somebody who's on Fort Huachuca base now and see if there's a Captain Neff there? And that's what we did. And we confirmed that Captain Neff and the 10th Brigade was there. He said it was in an offsite building, a JTF offsite building. We spoke to people at the base and they told us this is the exact building. Here's where it is in the map. And they are borrowing the space. He told us that this incident happened and the bomb dogs were called. So I made an effort and successfully got the police report. That's how we verify whether or not he's a pathological liar, is by verifying what he said, right? And so that's why, as I said before you jumped on, I reached out to the people that were involved. I reached out to Brian Harpole 3 times. He wanted to give an alibi in the sense of like giving flights for 3:42 that afternoon. Okay, so what's stopping you from giving us what you were doing at 7:30 a.m., right? Like that kind of is what's weird. It's like you give half an alibi that doesn't matter, but you don't want to give the full thing. You don't want to just message me and say, hey, just so you know, that wasn't me. So that's what we're actually doing, is trying to verify the last thing, which is just like really his memory. He did tell the truth. He told the truth about everything that happened that morning. And so the last thing is, does he have a good facial memory? And thus far, we've not been able to, and I am in the process, as I said, of speaking with Turning Point USA. We haven't yet gotten a clean answer from people who have indicated that they do want to give an alibi, right? Because Andrew Colvett is messaging Paramount Tactical with an alibi. Well, I'm your girl. I'm the only one I think that's trying to debunk Mitch.
Oh, for heaven's
I'm like,
sakes.
give me your alibi and I will post it.
Did you hear that? She apparently is the only one who's out there trying to debunk the guy that everyone else is debunking, and her audience, her army, is attacking people for doing it. So, by the way, some context. That person that was speaking before Candace, Morgan Ariel, is an account over on X. Has been one of the biggest Candace Owens cheerleaders from day one. And she and one other person decided to put a post out as they started vetting this, whatever his name is, this Mitch Snow guy. And they said, hey, we have some questions. We can't get on board with what this guy is saying because we can't verify his credibility. Did you notice that Candace talked about vetting all the things that a really good con man would get right? Like where he is, when he's there, but did zero work to verify the credibility of what he's saying and the things that he's not providing verification for? Because that's what a good con man does. A good con man, someone who has a 30-year track record of conning people and abusing every single person in his life, abandoning his kids, using the women in his life to fund his lifestyle, a good con man always touches a little bit of the truth to keep the con going. And when 2 accounts who are some of the biggest Candace Owens supporters decided to make posts the other day saying, I have some questions, they were absolutely obliterated by her cult following. And if you go into the comments of those videos, what you're going to find are almost the exact same account over and over and over again. Open within the last couple of months, have 8 followers, no picture, just random accounts that we know because we've done the research are typically Antifa accounts or bots.
Yeah.
So when Candace Owens gets on her spaces, when she gets on her spaces and says that she's the only one that's actually trying to debunk Mitch, the problem, Candace, is that's a lie. Because the people who are actually debunking his credibility, your army is trying to destroy them. You're doing that. You are setting the tone to destroy people who dare to challenge the narrative that you're putting out there. And by the way, one last thing, and take it from here. If I were anybody that is in the line of fire of Candace Owens, that her army is demanding receipts for, I would tell them to take a flying leap off of a short pier. You're not getting a goddamn thing from me. They owe her nothing, because there has been a trail of accusations that have been made by Candace Owens and her team over the last 4 months. And when she's proven wrong, she has yet to acknowledge the fact that she was wrong. So why would she acknowledge the fact that she's wrong about anything else? I wouldn't give her anything, nothing. I would freeze her out entirely. take your receipts to the people that you want to take them to and tell Candace to pound sand.
Uh-oh. Listen, Patriot Dad and I are both going to be in a doghouse tonight. Patriot Mom is going to
my
be
mom's going to
on
be really mad about that one.
both
Sorry,
of
honey.
us.
Well, good news is she only watches for about 20 minutes, so she probably did.
Yeah, we know that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I needed a refill.
We've got the wife analytics. It's about 18 to 20 minutes.
Yeah, I was going to say,
yeah.
I needed a refill, and I text my husband because I know for a fact he's not watching.
I went to the kitchen and back, by the way.
Well, I sent in the chat, please tell Patriot Mom I'm sorry for my rants. But the comments are pretty epic. But
Yeah,
it is going to be clipped, and that's
We're gonna
probably going to
clip
be my legacy on YouTube.
Yeah,
and
we're gonna
I'm
clip.
glad
I'm
it was
I'm
defending
clipping
my
it.
friend. I'm
I'm gonna
glad
clip it.
I'm glad
I
it
think-
was defending my friend, but
I
you
think that
know,
upsets me the most about all this is that we heard 2 weeks ago when Lisa Logan was on this podcast that information was given to Candace Owens directly about the networks that we believe, and I think we're right about, were actually involved in the planning and execution of Charlie Kirk's assassination. And for somebody who says that they're actively investigating, why aren't you investigating that?
because listen, she's brought up several of the organizations that would be involved. And like I was talking to Lisa today, I said, okay, look, here's the deal. I hope everybody understands. Number one most important thing, I do not, under any circumstances, believe that TPUSA is involved or had knowledge that this was going to happen. I do not believe that at all whatsoever. I do not believe that our entire State Department or our entire government or our entire military knew that this was going to happen or had prior knowledge of it. That said, I do believe that there are bad actors in certain chapters, maybe, of TPUSA that have ties to questionable organizations and questionable radicalization pipelines. I think that there are certain individuals within our State Department, again, because of the ties, I think that there are bad actors in every agency of our government, and you cannot clean those people out. Look, there were entire agencies that were shut down in our government, and those people moved from focusing their attention internationally to focusing their attention on the United States of America. And if you don't think that there are those types of people still existing within agencies that are currently operating in our government, I would think that I have some awesome oceanfront property for you in Oklahoma. You can come live on the ocean, right in Oklahoma, if you'd like. I'll give you.
I've got a high-speed rail system in California to sell you. So, so real quick, because what SK is referring to, especially the UN NGO pipeline that we've spent a lot of time talking about, that travels and has a huge stop at Utah Valley University and University of Utah. That is the exact research that was handed to Candace Owens of who those people are and the connections that was handed not only to Candace Owens, but has gone other places.
Well,
that she has decided not to even touch.
I think we should make it clear also that there are people within our government that want to investigate these angles, but they're kind of being shut down. We have really good people in heading up the counterterrorism unit. And there are a lot of really good people in our government that want to make things happen. Dan Bongino, Kash Patel, Joe Kent. There are lots of people that want to investigate these angles. I don't know for a fact because I don't have inside sources, but from what I'm gathering and what I'm seeing based on information that's being handed over is they're attempting to investigate these things and they're being shut down. And I feel like they're being shut down for a reason but I do not think it's the entirety of the State Department or the entirety of any agency. You have to remember, as scared as I was to admit it at the very beginning, you guys saw me like in real time freaking out when I found the Armenia-Fenian ties to Utah Global Diplomacy and Global Ties, which is tied to the State Department. And you saw the State Department come out and publicly cut ties with Utah Global Diplomacy, but they didn't, because Felicia Maxfield Barrett, who is the president and CEO of Utah Global Diplomacy, which had a name before that, is still on the board of Global Ties US and was like at a huge conference like during this time in DC. The Utah is a hub of the UN. Everybody needs to understand this. Utah is a UN hub, and they've had meetings in Salt Lake City, Utah, that they do not have outside of New York City or like Geneva or Paris. They've had them in Salt Lake City. They have the Olympic Games that are coming up. You have Tim Shriver involved in all of this, who also has a dad named Sergeant Shriver, who literally started the fucking Peace Corps. Okay. Like, we have, this is what's being pushed with when we talk about the Dignity Index and we talk about all of this social credit score stuff. The Utah is ground zero for this. And Charlie Kirk was pointing this out. Charlie Kirk was pointing at the UN saying we need to quit funding the UN and all of their bullshit. He was calling out a lot of the things that were going on in Utah. He was calling out Governor Cox. He was calling out the ranked choice voting. He was calling out the fact that, according to a lot of people in Utah, Governor Cox didn't necessarily come by his seat honestly. I'll say that allegedly, because I'm not going to make any accusations without proof. But you can look into these things. These things are all tied. And when you have somebody like Charlie Kirk that is influencing so many people, and you have groups like Utah Global Diplomacy, I will say that out loud 1,000 times, because you bitches decided to make your social media private and decided to 403 me and make me have to change my VPN, and then 403 me again. And I had to fucking Google what 403 meant, because I'm retarded when it comes to technology. So also WSK, because I'm retarded technologically, and you people still have to 403 me. So fuck you. But also
SK.
Utah Global Diplomacy. Utah Global Diplomacy has their shit on private. I haven't checked it in a couple of weeks because, you know, I've kind of been away with a lot of stuff going on. But they also privated their social media. You have to actually follow them to see their social media, which I'm not going to do because 403.
They already know where you are.
Well, yeah. And it doesn't matter where I change my VPN to. They catch it real quick. But here we are, you guys. We have the UN, the EU. These people are definitely involved, and which is why I say all the time, Candace touches on the truth, and then she takes a hard 90-degree angle to it's the Jews. Like, bitch, get off of Israel,
and then
get off the Jews, leave them alone. They deserve like 50 years of peace. I don't care if you like Bibi Netanyahu. I don't necessarily care for everything Bibi Netanyahu does, but there's a lot there. It's not simple, okay?
And see, this is the problem, folks. This is the entire point of this episode, is that what SK just laid out is what we should be talking about collectively as a country. We should be talking about those organizations and networks and those people and the color revolution that they are running in this country. And when you try to, you get attacked for it by people who say that they're just investigating the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Let me give you the perfect example. I'm going to throw a comment up on the screen that I can actually do from Rumble. This is from S.E. Bennett. Can you guys see that? I'm sure you've all seen it, but now they're bullying Erica's ex-boyfriend and making him post where he was on 9/8/99. You guys see this? Those of you who've been paying attention to this? So there's a
Cabot.
His name's Cabot. How do I get this off of here? I want that off.
How did you even put that up there?
Yeah, over in the comments,
neat.
if you hover over a comment and then you hit,
say.
Well, you can't do it from YouTube. You can do it from Rumble and X.
Oh,
Nonetheless, so here's the story. This is really, really important. So what is it, about a week ago or so? A bunch of people started running around saying that Erica Kirk is having an affair. She was cheating on Charlie with her ex-boyfriend, this guy named Cabot Phillips or whatever. So Candace decides to send a picture of Cabot Phillips to Mitch Snow, because remember, one of the parts of Mitch Snow's story is that he is 100% confident that he saw Erica Kirk on September 8th in the hotel with a man. So Candace sent a photo of Cabot to Mitch Snow, and Mitch Snow said, yep, that's him. I saw him there. And he talked about the watch, 100% confident that he saw Erica Kirk's ex-boyfriend with Erica Kirk on September 8th. And so her brigade of Antifa-linked trolls, they're trolls, demanded that he release his alibi. Now, if I were Cabot, I would have told him to piss right off.
Well, PatriotDad, now you know why you were just randomly accused of insurance fraud today.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, it's the same thing. Hey, PatriotDad, prove that you did not commit insurance fraud. Do it now.
No,
do it now.
Sorry. Screw you. I'm not telling you shit.
Provide it to Candace Owens.
You get nothing, and you'll like it. And that's just the way it is. Nom, can you pull up? There's a couple of photos. Maybe I can do it real quick.
Can
you
we
guys
just
gotta
make
see
a
this.
pact that you guys are not going to let me drink before I go?
No, we're not, because I don't know about you, but I'm having a blast watching you get saucy with me.
Comments are epic.
So
also,
Cabot was
tomorrow morning. I'm going to regret every bit of this.
Cabot was forced, because of this crazy mob, to release information about where he was on the 8th, because remember, he was accused, and he did. He posted just a little while ago, he posted an actual video of him walking into a doctor's appointment for an ultrasound for his baby.
Sick. And you know
you
what?
Monsters are running around accusing him of having an affair with Erica Kirk, and he was walking into a doctor's office for an ultrasound for his unborn child. You freaking monsters.
Barn animal or zoo animals.
Monsters.
Zoo animals.
Monsters.
No, actually, zoo animals have value. Hold on. Zoo animals have value in this world, though a lot of them probably wish they didn't live in a zoo, but they have like value. These people have no value whatsoever to society. Their only value, the only value exists to further the color revolution.
Oh, but get this.
That's who these fucking clowns are. That's who they are.
After he did that, is this the right one? After
Oh my
he did
God.
that,
People in the comments were like, no, SK needs to drink. I'll send her alcohol.
Oh my God. Oh, stop. Hold on. Can I bring it? So this happened. This was a comment on him posting.
This was a comment.
His alibi of being at the ultrasound for his unborn child.
Yep.
Oliver Janik, you didn't happen to like drill down into that, figure out where this account's from, did you?
No, I didn't, because I was looking at something else. Because one of the bigger simp accounts was demanding that Cabot provide him more information. Can you make this downloadable so that I can verify it? F you, you're not getting a damn thing. That would be my response.
Fuck you.
You're not getting a damn thing.
Good that you, hold on, I'll bring that back. I want to read that out loud. Bring that. Good, that you posted it. Period. That doesn't actually. Okay. What I do not understand, why you guys are not responding directly to her or immediately. You can post the proof later if that takes time. First of all, I mean, where did SK go? There she is.
I was getting my refill. It was delivered to the door.
These are the people. Someone read that out loud. Does that even make sense? Good, that you posted it. What I do not understand, why you guys are not responding directly to her or immediately. You can post the proof later, if that takes time.
Yeah, because you got to remember
Why?
throughout the
Why?
spaces that she did last night, the point she kept making over and over again was effectively, you need to answer to me. I am the one investigating this, and I'm going to demand what I demand, and you're going to give it to me. Or if you don't, I'm going to accuse you of things that you didn't do. That's what this comment is referring to. Why didn't you respond fast enough? Candace wanted information, or it's not always Candace. Her army of Antifa-linked accounts demanded receipts, and Oliver wants to understand why they didn't get them fast enough. That's what he's talking about.
Listen, we this horse is laying there, its carcass, it's beat. This is going to continue because you know why it's going to continue? Because it's working.
Yeah.
It's going to continue because it's working. When we come back on Monday, we have a midterm election to win. I know you probably have more, but frankly, I don't. I'm done. I'm over this.
Can we do
I'm
one more?
over.
Can we do one more? Can you just do video 5?
Yes, I just got a refill. We've got like
Video
5
5.
more.
It's
Let's
like 30
go.
seconds. It's like 30 seconds.
One more,
Let's go.
and then I have something to say. One more.
I can tell you guys that, like, Rob McCoy and Charlie did not love Rob McCoy. That whole speech about him being his pastor, he had voiced his concerns about Rob McCoy. And so again,
that's the right one.
The broader consideration here is that Turning Point USA is just telling a lot of lies, and you don't tell a lot of lies.
That was 5.
Well, whatever. Let's move on. Anyway, there was one of the commenters at the end of the spaces was basically just lamenting the fact that nobody else is curious. Nobody else is asking questions except for.
Well, it might be 4. Is it 4? You want me to play 4?
Maybe it's 4.
Can, while you're
Let's
looking
go
that
to you,
up.
Diligent Denizen.
Yep.
Is this Diligent Denizen?
Yeah,
Hold on. Stop.
Oh, has he responded?
Diligent Denizen.
Play it.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I got snapped at. He snapped his
We're in
fingers
trouble.
at me.
Just, you know what bothers me the most about this whole thing is the lack of curiosity. Like, here we are all citizen journalists. Every single person on this stage right now describes themselves as a journalist in some way, shape, or form, right? There's no curiosity, right?
That was Diligent Denizen.
Yeah, that's a content creator called Diligent Denizen who wants you to believe that he and his group of people are the only ones that are allowed to ask questions, the only ones that are curious. Despite the fact that this group and many other people have been spending hour after hour after hour after hour mapping out these networks from start to finish for months. This team has been deeply investigating that entire network of people, and it was handed to Candace Owens, and she has ignored it. We found the connections between the accounts that had foreknowledge. We showed you the screenshots of the conversations that they were having. We showed you a link directly to the founder of a Antifa-linked trans terrorist organization called Armed Queers SLC. We showed you the direct cooperation between Armed Queers SLC and the John Brown Gun Club down in Texas, who, by the way, was responsible for a violent assault on an immigration detention center in Texas. Antifa organization. Showed you direct links between people who knew about the assassination and the founder of that organization. And you're telling me that we're not curious?
Also,
is that what you're saying?
If you've been here from the beginning and you've heard me use the name Matt Alder like months ago, when we were talking about Armed Queers SLC and talking about the No Kings protest shooting, and I told you guys exactly who committed that shooting and that they were a member of Armed Queers SLC. Guess who was arrested just a few weeks ago for the shooting at the No Kings protest? Oh, yeah, that's right. That's Matt Alder, who's also associated with Armed Queers SLC. It's almost like there's this pipeline. And all of these kids have the exact same resume, which is why the Brown University shooting looked almost exactly the same whenever the person that they were accusing online had the exact same resume as all of these other kids, because there is a pipeline that goes directly through our State Department, ironically or unironically, however you want to look at it, They're all the same people. You can copy paste their resume. They're all the same people. They have all the same awards. They're involved in all the same organizations. They're all fellows. They're all whatever leaders or diplomats or whatever bullshit you want to call it. And in Utah, you also have missionaries who get to go be away from their parents for a year and go experience culture in other countries where they get to, I don't know, change your values and radicalize you into believing things that are not what your parents believe.
No, SK. In that entire rant, I did not hear you say Jews one time.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. It's the Jews, you guys.
It's
It's
the
Jews. It's
Jews.
Israel.
Okay. All right, I'm
It doesn't
done.
matter how you feel about Israel. For the record, I've never taken a penny from Israel. I'm a Christian, would love to go to Israel, been invited. Also, for you piece of shit on TikTok that wanted to accuse me of being paid by Israel, and I was ready with the receipts for the second you posted it, because thank you for the forewarning for all the people that messaged me and said this person was going to accuse me of this. Had it ready to go for the second it was posted.
That's right.
I was invited to go to Israel. I didn't know the person inviting me. They were inviting me because I was indigenous. I'm Native American. Shown my Native American card, my tribal card on TikTok multiple times. If you don't believe me, you can look at my face. I'm Native American. Might be a little white because, you know, lack of sun, and also I'm old, sunscreen, you know, whatever. I did not go. I did not go because there's fucking bombs flying over there and I have children.
That's right.
I've always said I would love to go to Israel and walk where my creator walked. I would love to do that. I'm a Christian. I think it would be amazing to go to Israel and see Israel. Does that mean that I 100% agree with everything the Israeli government does?
Matter of fact, we've been pretty critical
not.
of Israel.
Absolutely not. It doesn't mean that I agree with everything that Israel's government does.
I gotta be honest with you. I gotta be honest with you. Frankly, what Israel is doing is the least of our problems in this country.
Exactly.
I mean,
and we have
have you all like been, I wasn't even on social media. I wasn't even watching news, like legit watching news for the last 10 days. And the only thing I've seen for the last 10 days is a bunch of Somali pirates everywhere that they've organized, stealing as much of our money as they possibly can. And it's not just Somalis. Anywhere migrants, large groups of them, especially illegal immigrants, are clustered, they're stealing our freaking money, like by the billions and billions and billions of dollars. So listen, that's my rant, and I'm going to end it, my part of this, by saying I don't give a shit about what Candace Owens is investigating. There's a court case coming up. They're not done investigating it at the FBI, the Department of Justice, or the state of Utah. I don't fucking care. What I actually care about is watching $40 trillion in debt that if Doge was actually allowed to do what it was set out to do instead of actual terrorism happening to stop them. And now I think we have a really good idea of why we saw actual terrorist attacks happening all across the country, was to shut Doge down so you couldn't find the fraud. If they'd been allowed, and I think they're still going, but if they had been successful, we would have found that probably every dollar of the $40 trillion in debt that we have has been stolen from the taxpayers in this country. I don't give a fuck about Israel, frankly, and I don't give a flying shit about Candace. We have a fucking country to save.
Hold on.
I'm done with this.
I think
I'm done with Candace. I'm done with all this.
I think it's
Don't bring me back on another podcast if I have to talk about this retard again.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I think it's important for everyone to understand that I'm sure it's okay to say this publicly. I don't know. But if you're a government contractor or you have any government contract at all whatsoever, you know that until January 13th, you're unable to do anything with your contracts because you're having to move to a different system and you're having to have, I don't know, passed an audit in order to be able to alter or change any of your contracts or apply for a new contract. So also, Doge is doing its job because remember all of that coding that they were talking about and how there was no way to track where the money was going because there was no like memo line.
Yeah.
They weren't coding anything. Yeah, that's all changing. And if you haven't passed an audit, good luck getting a government contract.
Last thing I'll say, and then we'll wrap. We're going to do a cold out because we don't have any buffer music. But the reason why I believe the Candyland cult saga continues and why Antifa is as deeply involved in driving it as I can is to distract you from what Nom just talked about. If you are arguing about freaking Mitch Snow in Fort Huachuca, then you're not paying attention to the fact that nearly all of the debt that we have amassed in this country has been stolen from the American people. That's the same reason why the same people in your comment section were terrorizing Tesla dealerships several months ago. It's the same reason why those same people were out in the streets in the No King protests. It's the same people. And next time, if I don't get a response from that person, I'm going to name names. Were you ever, or are you still associated with Antifa or any Antifa adjacent organizations? I'll wait, but I'm not waiting much longer.
Monday.
Can I say one thing before we end? Carib Marcel on YouTube said some of the MWEG, which is Mormon Women for Ethical Government, people were bragging about working at the Volunteer Refugee Center. I'd love to hear if you know anything about that. MWEG is a threat. Yes, MWEG is a threat. And if you go back through my X account and you watch back through these podcasts, you'll hear about Mormon Women for Ethical Government, and you'll hear them in all of the meetings with the IMIP people and all of the fired USAID people. They're involved in this radicalization pipeline, and they are involved in the color revolution as well.
That's
the
right.
Mormon Women for Ethical Government. I'm not saying all Mormons are bad. I'm not saying all Mormons are involved, just for the record. But Mormon Women for Ethical Government are 100% involved in all of this. The New Pluralists, the Democracy Fund organization, the IMIP, all of that. They are all up in the middle of it.
That's
and
right.
They want a service here. They want to send kids, all kids, like Israel has to do the IDF. They have to serve. They want to send American kids for 1 year, and they want to do a swap. So like a kid from the Midwest would go to an inner city and whatever else for a year, because they want to be able to radicalize your children and take them away from you and what you're teaching them.
That's right. That's right. All right, folks, we're out. I hope you got something out of this. We won't see you guys again until after the first of the year. We'll plan to do another one on the 5th. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow and share. Try to help get this out. I'd love to see us at around 7,000 subscribers over on YouTube soon. But I hope you got something out of this. Have a great New Year's. And
go Buckeyes. Go Bucks.
Go Buckeyes.